to its first WNBA game.
Two-time National Player of the Year at Iowa.
Howard, the three-time champion, gets things started for Indiana.
Well, that's what Stephanie White alluded to when she was discussing with us prior to the game. She said, we have bolstered our roster with vets, and not only that, championship vets. And you love to see Duana Bonner on this team as well.
Here's Syke. Mid-range jumper. That's off the mark. Loose ball collected by Lexi Hull. It's Hull, Boston, Howard, Colson getting the start for Clark, and Mitchell, the starters for Indiana. Here's Colson. Behind the back, pull-up jumper, gets it to go. Oh, my goodness. Don't do it to him early, Sid.
That was left crisscross and all of that. But Sydney Colson, Stephanie White, the head coach for Indiana, she said we get a little smaller starting Sid instead of there and disallow Indiana's opportunities to run in the open court.
Sutton doing a good job tying up Colson there, coming up with it here. Citron. Three doesn't go. Dolson fighting for that offensive board, gets it. Iriafen streaking the defense, gets that to go.
Well, that's exactly what I was talking about, and that's why that's one of the keys. Although Steph Dolson didn't score that because of the second and third efforts on the O boards, and that's what Washington needs.
Mitchell picked up by Sykes. 6 on the shot clock now, 4 seconds. Colson lets it fly. That one does not go as Citron, with the rebound.
Washington did a great job defensively there.
And that pass to Foose because of it.
So stay active on those cuts to the rim, and great things happen for your team.
Sykes, jumper. Does not go. Boston with the rebound. I'm very excited about that Boston-Iriafen matchup. Mitchell showing the speed. Slim showing the defense, rejecting that out of here. Here's Sutton, back the other way. Sutton playing through contact, does not go. Loose ball collected by Howard.
Goodbye.
Up the floor, Hull taken away though by Sutton, playing safety.
The defense for Washington, especially for them being a young team. Steph White said it doesn't matter how young they are. They're hoopers, they're ball players. And they are fierce competitors as we've seen early in this one.
Iriafen off 1 foot, does not get the bounce on that. Howard collecting the rebound. Boston trying to go backdoor to Mitchell. Crowded by Dolson. Here's Howard now. Baseline jumper, doesn't go. Iriafen the rebound.
Right place, right time on that weak side. 70% of shots come off on the weak side of the rim. Iriafen positioned herself properly there, and that's why she's been able to have 4 consecutive double-doubles this season as a rookie.
Citron. And
looked like it was a pull-the-chair situation by Lexi Hull. And here's this vicious block by Brittany Sykes. Says, not today, not in Baltimore, not in the DMV, not anywhere. And then the steal by Shug Sutton, just playing great.
In between Howard and Colson, Iriafen came up with it for Washington. Cross court, Dolson steps into one. Boston the rebound.
Well, last year, Steph Dolson shot 47% from 3 as the whistle is blown, trying to reset the clock here.
The shot clock didn't move at all. So Claire Aubrey will check it with the scores table, along with Roy Galbayan and Jeffrey Smith, our officials this season.
Amount of weapons from range. A lot of threats.
Jeffrey Smith initially thought it was a backcourt violation, but Claire Aubrey corrected, saying they started it in the backcourt, so it wasn't a violation.
Washington has done a good job, even without Caitlin Clark being on the floor. The short roll actions that Indiana likes to run, they're still there.
Hull in the corner, gets back to go.
And that's what Stephanie White was discussing prior to the game. She says we can set up our three-point threats in different ways without Caitlin Clark being on the floor. And that was a great example of that. Dolson enforcing that charge to be called on Big Mama Steph inside on the previous defensive possession for Indiana.
Edwards. Now Melbourne, 8 on the shot clock for Washington. Melbourne, little hesitation into the paint. Doesn't go. Edwards is there for the cleanup. Left that short as Colson now controls for Indiana.
Well, Howard was right there being a shadow defensively and kind of changed the mechanics for Aaliyah Edwards, second-year player out of UConn.
Boston is fouled, as they call that, on Iriafen. Boston will head to the...
Well, that has been a major discussion by Steph White, and she just wants things to be consistently called, right? And not just for her team, but just across the board. She's not asking for favors, she's just asking for consistency. But you have to get downhill, and she feels that they have been doing that, but have not been rewarded with getting themselves to the line. So you're right. Here, South Carolina Gamecocks won a championship during her tenure there for Dawn Staley. On the professional level, I mean, she's just been masterful with what she's been able to do offensively, 61% from the floor.
Howard floater does not go. Citron the rebound. Shakira Austin making her return to the lineup for Washington. Here she is with a quick touch. Tries to go inside against Boston, cut off, gets it to Edwards. Now Melbourne attacking, goes to Austin in the paint. Austin will head to the free throw line.
Leah Boston initially had done a really good job staying in front of Shakira Austin this season.
Austin gets the first one.
Protocol situation that she was dealing with, and she said she just wants to be healthy this year. Just kind of running in the mud. To see her back on the court, Washington, with a lot of young energy on the inside on their roster.
Boston kicks it. Colson three. Does not go. Howard fighting for that rebound as Boston came up with it. Mitchell attacking. Kicks it. Colson touch to Hull. Inside. Howard gets it off the window.
Oh, it was that little hesitation by the vet. Oh, what a fantastic Howard. She was walled up nicely by Edwards, but then had a little shiftiness to get her by on that baseline side of the floor.
Indiana shooting 44% here in the early going of the first quarter as Austin gets that to go. Cuts it to a 4-point lead for Indiana. Colson quickly back.
I like the ISO game, getting those players activated early in the paint.
Mitchell kicks it. Boston. Cross court. Howard. Pull-up jumper. Doesn't go. Rebounded by Austin. Sykes quickly up the floor. Citron pushing. Gets the layup.
I mean, that was just incredibly smooth. Sonia Citron with that waitress serving up a meal on a platter right there in the open floor. Beautiful.
Colson, nice drop off to Howard as she gets the drop. Howard, a great start here. 6 points early on.
A lot of them have been in that painted area, and they have to just disallow and disrupt her off-ball movement and keep her off the offensive glass.
6 points in the paint for Indiana. Here's Austin attacking. Comes right back in the paint.
Super aggressive move there by Shakira downhill. Playing with a lot of force on the court, and they have missed that.
I like the decisiveness on that end of the floor.
She's very tough.
Hull jumper. Rebounded by Sykes. Sykes surveying. Slow walking it. And a whistle and a foul going to be called on Colson.
Pace of play, right? Space and pace for the Washington Mystics. 8 of their 10 points, Megan, have been in the fast break situation. So how do you get activated in the fast break? Very well. And this is an Indiana team that rebounds incredibly well, especially on the offensive side. They're second in the league.
Citron came up with a miss from Melbourne. Dewana Bonner, Sophie.
Want to step on toes, being this 15-year vet.
Howard. Engsler got a piece of that one, but Howard the putback.
And her second jump is so tough. It has been a thorn in the side of the Washington Mystics early on in this game.
8 points, 5 rebounds for Howard, to your point, Christy. She has the last 6 for Indiana. That one hung on the rim and finally drops.
That was the draft from the... Somebody opened the door, a little draft came in from the harbor and dropped that one home. Oh, my goodness. How dramatic was that?
Bonner pump fake. And Dewana Bonner going to head to the free throw line. Emily Engsler get whistled for the infraction.
Sonia Sitch right there inside. Right there at the cup.
Bonner gets the... With this Fever team, you add that into it, and you mentioned Steph White didn't want to just add anybody in veterans. They wanted to add that championship mentality.
Winners and great leaders, because they understand what they have to do to prepare to win. It's not just about the games. It's what are you doing on a daily basis to stack days and remain locked in and focused.
Edwards spins off Howard, sticks with it, and is going to head to the free. The foul called on Natasha Howard as Aaliyah Edwards
roster after missing the first 4 games with the back injury, and so to have her back, I love to see her force that both players play with. And Sydney Johnson has said the versatility when they're both on the floor on the defensive end is something that he wants to see more of.
Howard going against Edwards, and they're going to say too many steps.
Mom's favorite player. Well, she loves all of them, but she said, let me know when Deladon comes back to a game. I'm coming to that one.
Olsen, Iriafen attacking. Iriafen gets that off the window. Tied at 16.
Well, she just has incredible footwork, right? She understands where and when to attack, and that one was executed to perfection.
Bonner works off Boston. Little hesitation, gets to the hoop, lays that up and in.
Weak side a little bit late. Emily Engsler was the rotate.
Engsler off the screen from Melbourne, gets that to go. Answers back.
Bonner wanted a foul on that screen to Engsler for that triple. The 3-point percentage contest, if you will, last year for all WNBA players, 47.5% for all.
This is the Mystics' first lead of the ball game since it was early on, and automatically DeWanna Bonner shows why she was added to.
She was slow out of the gate, 0 for 7, matter of fact, in the last 3. After 2 for 9 in the opener.
Austin going against Hull, left that short. Shot clock turned off. Indiana can play for the final shot as Bonner slows it down.
He was definitely that on the last possession for the Fever.
6 seconds to go in the quarter. Cunningham got behind the defense, misses the layup, but will head to the free throw line as Austin will get called for the foul.
And basketball acumen by DeWanna Bonner. And if you're Shakira Austin, how do you, so that pass can't go?
Play the angles is what I'm hearing from you.
All the angles. All of them.
Olsen, 2 seconds, lets it fly. Does not go as the first quarter comes to an end. And the Fever take a 23. As the Mystics with first possession, Dolson and Sykes back into the ballgame. Austin down low, gets that off the window against Boston.
Paint points are going to be a premium, and that's where the battle is going to be won or lost in this game. Also, I had that number 2 circled after that first quarter, so taking care of the basketball a lot better and scoring in the paint.
Bonner, foul line jumper goes, soft touch.
As always, DeWanna Bonner. I cannot believe she's been in the league 15 years, but she has just been so steady and fierce with how she approaches the game every single day and night.
Austin tried to go back toward a Melbourne, threw it off of the foot of Cunningham. Cunningham lost the ball. Here's Sykes, who loses the handle on that one.
Citron was on that left corner, salivating for a catch-and-shoot Fever. Good job by Jade Melbourne to snake herself through and stay aggressive on Sophie Cunningham.
And an offensive foul called on Sophie Cunningham.
And that is and Jade Melbourne, she's a dog, especially on the defensive side. She takes so much pride in getting stops like that. I'd love to see it from young players.
Austin fading off 1 foot. What a touch.
Not the one-legged fader. Shakira Austin with the flick of the wrist. Sticks. And again, her presence has been missed.
Bonner, too strong on that. Rebounded by Dolson up the floor. Citron able to collect. Bobbles it. And now Sykes. Tried to go to Dolson, taken away by Cunningham.
Cunningham sniffed that out on that weak side. Came for the interception.
Mitchell attacking, kicks it. Bonner. Back with Mitchell. Boston, nice seal inside, gets behind the defense, puts it up and in.
Well, that was so tough because it looked like Shakira Austin on his teammate. You got to get there like your hair's on fire and try to wall up because Leah Boston shoots it at a 61% clip. She's not going to miss those in there.
Melbourne lobs it into Dolson. Dolson with the sock touch off the window.
Big mama step with some great mitts right there. Falling out of managed to get that bucket to drop. Speaking of leadership, Slim and Steph for Washington, they have been so good at sharing what it takes to continue to build this young team, but it's also been on the wing, and they love to run that slip cut as well from the slot extended just outside the lane line.
And asked them to look at that because Mitchell looked like she was bleeding from the face and kind of like lobbied for it.
Yeah.
And I asked Steph White, you know, the silver lining of this injury, and she said she's going to see the coaches to hear those conversations as well. You've covered Caitlin Clark. She has a high IQ. What does this do for her?
Well, it's probably killing her to be sitting over there. I talked to her a little bit before the game, and she said, it's just unfortunate I can't play.
Austin with the jumper. She's on a heater right now.
She is, but Caitlin Clark said, it's unfortunate I can't play, but I'll be back soon enough. But the way she said that, her top lip, Megan, was rolled up, and she wants to be out there competing with her teammates for sure. But it does teach her patience, but it does teach her that she has to be 100% healthy to be able to go.
Dantis 3 doesn't go. Fighting for the loose ball rebound is Sykes and Cunningham. Cunningham going to get whistled for the foul. 5 of 6 shooting, 12 points. Shakira Austin off the bench.
Yeah, I love that. But you learn a lot. Shakira Austin missed some games. You were talking about Caitlin Clark missing some games. You learn a lot when you sit and watch because your mind is operating not do it.
Mitchell attacking, gets it over Austin and the foul.
Down to this game, averaging just under 18 a game. Knocking in her triples at a 35% clip. But then you have to play her honestly because she can get you downhill just like that in a cross match and catch a body at the rim.
32-27 lead here for Indiana, second quarter action. And it'll be Mystics ball side out of bounds as they call.
Star as a pro. Just love to watch her climb as well as a player.
Sutton, Sykes on the cut. Stops on a dime, turns, fades. Doesn't go. Cunningham the rebound.
I like that motion action by Washington though with that weak side. They're trying to get Sykes some touches.
Mitchell 3 doesn't go. Pushing is Sutton up the floor. Citron running the floor. Almost gets it. Edwards, the offensive board, puts it up and in.
Megan's second chance points. Foul. Right there by Sonia Citron, just didn't trickle in like the one earlier. But Aaliyah Edwards did her job and sprinted. You have to treat every shot as if it's going to be a missed shot.
Cunningham has that strip, goes off of her foot. They say it will be Mystics basketball. And a timeout on the floor, 32-29 Fever.
In leadership and the championship acumen that we were discussing earlier, but they have that in place now. Now health has to play a part.
Iriafen rolling off the screen, blocked by Dantis, and it will stay with Washington. 6 seconds on the shot clock for the Mystics to work with.
Well, I like that action again for Washington. Setting and utilizing great screens in the quarter court will free you up for more opportunities than not.
4 seconds, Sykes pulls and hits it.
I hope the bear over there on the sideline was Brittany Sykes is saying something after she knocked down that cold-blooded triple.
Iriafen. Now Sykes, guarded by Mitchell. 10 on the shot clock. Attacking Mitchell, does not go. Iriafen tapped that, unfortunately, into the hands of Dantis. Pushing up the floor. Citron doing a good job deflecting that out of bounds and avoiding running into the chairs.
And re-screen by Howard. And that's what Indiana's going to do. They're going to screen you to death, and you better communicate defensively if you're Washington against it.
Howard comes down with the rebound. They're going to get a loose ball foul called. They call it on Melbourne.
Early in the shot clock, and you better maneuver against it. You better communicate to your teammates. You better get skinny and better be ready to lock in on your closeouts and be on your toes so that you can move and direct.
Olsen off the screen. Comes out to Cunningham. 6 on the shot clock. Inside Howard. Howard backing down Iriafen. 2 seconds. Turns. Hangs. Sykes with the rebound.
Oh, my. Sykes went up to the penthouse for that one. 2 high hands.
Iriafen. And a whistle. And a foul.
Well, that's what happens when you take a hard cut. Right? You got to move. Tried to hold, and that's why she was whistled with that foul.
Iriafen. Now Sykes, 10 on the shot clock. working off Iriafen. 8 seconds, 6 seconds. Melbourne, 4 seconds. Attacking. Drops that in.
Well, that play was set up by Brittany Sykes. That's a screen assist for Sykes.
Hull was running the floor. And Melbourne is going to be whistled for the foul on the opposite end.
And test her at the rack.
Hull misses the first. The other aspect, Christy, to the free throw situation for Indiana is as much
game reps, too, to get in. And I'm sure Steph White will say that's what's missing because, you know, they definitely have strikers who could.
Hull was able to split the pair on that one. Engsler. Sykes worked off of her.
DHO with Engsler and Sykes.
Iriafen picked up by Dantas.
Got to empty out the weak side to take the help away.
Goes baseline on her, left that short.
And maybe finish with that left hand. Dantas was looming behind her. Right hand finish on the left side is tough.
Here's Howard. Mitchell works off of her, goes to her on the roll. Howard drops that in. Howard now up to 10 points in the ballgame.
How long was Howard hanging? Is Tasha Howard getting the job done inside for the Fever.
Dantas strips and tips it to Mitchell. Mitchell down low as Howard left open, and they're going to get her for steps.
Lucky, because she was on a whole island sipping a lemonade. Washington Wizards squad mirroring their sisterhood squad here with the Mystics. Young and growing and learning with great live game opportunities on the court.
In this first half, as Austin misses the first.
She'll get it together. I mean, she's just trying to get her rhythm back and trying to get herself back. She's been able to score the ball well. Now she's getting herself to the line. You know what she's going to do on the glass. But the awareness on defense, that's where sometimes people think, oh, your rhythm is all about the reads. It's about placement defensively.
Mitchell. 10 on the shot clock. Howard now with 8. 6 seconds. Howard. Dantas, 2 seconds. Dantas hanging. And Damaris Dantas will head to the free throw line.
I thought she had a little giddy up step there. I thought it was maybe a travel. Emily Engsler is saying she didn't touch her. Like punch on the arm, like that's a travel. Come on now.
Dantas able to get the first. And gets both.
Well, these two teams battled in the preseason, again without Caitlin Clark in that contest as well. Indiana won that game. Washington's a different team because they're so young. They're sponges.
Oh my God! Brittany Sykes.
Put him in the mixer. That's a salad mixer. Just spin it around. Oh my goodness!
History.
1 of 1. DB. And she has had just a spectacular WNBA career and basketball career overall. Beautifully executed. Congrats.
Dantas, baseline, middle, baseline, finish.
I mean, how many counters to the counter? Dantas showing her experience and great footwork inside.
Sutton getting to the hoop. Ties it back at 39.
I love to see Shug so strong and so smart.
Mitchell jumper off the mark.
Man, I just want to fly through the air like Brittany Sykes one time. I mean, she is so soft off her feet. And those long arms, she's just so quick to the basketball on the glass.
Citron, count the bucket and the foul.
And that gets the Plinko rolling. Drops home for Sonia Citron. Many magnificent things out of the gate. And Neil Ivey, her head coach at Notre Dame, has said she is just so good and so ready for the pros. She has shown and proven that time and time again here for the Mystics. And Brittany asking for an explanation there so it doesn't happen again. And you're learning every play. I mean, that's why we love the game. The hoop. Oh my goodness, she has some hops team in so many different ways.
In an offense, Mitchell Working off the double screen.
She's a lefty. You know she wants to get back to that left hand.
Gets back to it. Couldn't get the finish. Loose ball. It will.
She's a tough scoring weapon for sure. But you know that she wants to get back to that left hand, so you got to take that away and turn her back to her right side. You can see Shug Sutton just correcting herself right there, trying to force her right.
Hall in the corner. Doesn't go. Angsler, 8 seconds. Up the floor. Citron. Citron pushing. Gets the finish. 4.3 to go in the half. Here's Colson. Up the floor. Bonner. 1 second. Lets it fly. And the first half. On a wild flurry of a finish, the Mystics take a 4.
That she was able to don and represent. But she carries that on and off the floor. The pride of her discipline. And it's shown through here so far in her young career in D.C. or Baltimore today.
Sykes to start the third quarter. Off the mark, Hull pulls down the rebound. Sutton, Sykes, Citron, Dolson, Iriafen. Same starters that started the game here for Coach Johnson.
Well, Washington's bench came up huge. 21 bench points in that first half for the Mystics in the defense. With those quick hands, looks like Dolson is shaking hand.
Citron. 3 doesn't go. Iriafen, offensive rebound, put up and in.
That's what I'm talking about. Like bees out of y'all, she is going to make you pay. She just stays persistent. She's so resilient. It doesn't matter if you try to box her out. She's going to find her way to the basketball.
And a travel is called.
Come ready-made with that motor inside of them and their will to compete and beat you every single possession.
Citron left open in the corner. Does not go. Back tap is controlled by Howard. Howard pushing now for the Fever. Working off her is Mitchell. Hull. Pull up. High out the window. Does not go. Dolson controlling the glass.
Oh, good job there by Steph Dolson.
Sykes into the paint. Had that stripped. And Colson now controlling. Hull pushing.
Looks like Sonia Citron has some tape on the back of her left leg that wasn't there in the first half.
And Howard. Howard, her first free throw attempts in this ball game, gets the first one. Shooting for the team in this game is Indiana, coming into it shooting just 63% from the free throw line.
We heard Ariana Prather speaking with Stephanie White, the head coach for the Indiana Fever, and she said we have to see what they're going to try to do defensively to get that done.
Iriafen attacking Howard, goes under, finishes.
Well, it didn't work that time because she has some swift footwork down inside, and if you don't cut that baseline off, she's going to dance right by you and finish.
Here's Hull with time. Doesn't go. Boston the rebound, puts that up and in.
We'll talk about a machine on the boards. Aaliyah Boston Bulls so far this season for AB. A definite threat for the Fever for sure. The Rookie of the Year in 2023.
Mitchell 3, that one smooth as butter.
Silky for Kelsey Mitchell. Left-handed shooter, so that was tough in terms of the mechanics of that shot. She doesn't shy away from firing that triple, 35% efficiency.
Sykes gets behind the defense for the finish.
It's the connect-in with the superb dime to the weak side. A dart of a pass to Sykes for the completion of the play.
Mitchell works off Howard again with space. Doesn't go. Citron the rebound.
Solid fight inside by Citron on the glass.
Boston able to deflect that. Hull controlling.
That needed a little more smoke on it to get over the top of those high hands inside defensively for the Fever.
Mitchell does not go.
Don't let her. It becomes an avalanche. All-time leading scorers in the history of college women's basketball. Up there with Kelsey Plum. Great defense here by Washington. Really great gap discipline right there at the elbows.
Boston got inside, got that to go over Austin.
And Austin gave her some resistance. Boston just had a little bit too much strength right there at the end of that play to be able to finish it right there.
Melvin attacking. A whistle and foul going to be called on Colson. And you talk about the strength of Aaliyah Boston. She looks like she's added the strength to her game over the course of the offseason. Not looking hugely muscular, but you can tell the way.
The lower you get, the better that you are, right? Get low to the ground so you have some bounce and some power coming from somewhere. You don't want to be lock-legged.
Lil John said get low. Here's Edwards, 2 seconds on the shot clock. Doesn't get the bounce. Sykes, huge rebounds, huge finish, huge celebration. Howard goes to Mitchell, works off of her. Comes back. Boston looking. Hall. 10 on the shot clock. Works off Boston. Goes to Mitchell. And an offensive foul is called on Howard.
Solid defensive discipline once again in those gaps by the Mystics. Well, Washington. Oh, I love it. Washington Mystics are groundbreaking in terms of having pre- and post-game and halftime coverage. Our very own Wes Hall and Chas Melvin covering those duties. You love to see it.
Travel called there.
Said you have to slow down, and on that possession, Indiana sped Washington up. But they have a 38-22 advantage in the paint. Taking that away from Indiana, where you would think that they had the interior advantage. And Washington has done a great job there.
Cunningham 3 does not go. To your point, 12 turnovers for Washington. They've given up 10 points off of the turnovers. Edwards. At Boston. And
I love it. Hey, it's a 12-6 advantage in second chance points. And it's pretty much the difference in this game when you look at the score. And that was one of the keys coming into this game. Just wise beyond her years as a rookie.
Austin going against Boston. Boston got the better of the matchup that time. Here comes Mitchell back the other way. Chrising, crossing, getting to the hoop. Couldn't get the finish though. But she is on her feet. Quickly back the other way. Olsen, 3 in transition. Got it. And Stephanie White wants a timeout. She's looking at the officials, wondering where the call was on the
19.6 rebounds and 9 assists for the Fever so far this season, her second in the league.
Sykes works off of Austin, trying to get her on the seal with Boston. Inside, Austin attacking, does not go. Boston the rebound. Boston her 6th rebound of the ballgame. Colson comes back to her. Now Bonner. 3 doesn't go. Austin with the rebound.
Well, I love the composure and poise right now by Brittany Sykes. Getting everything organized.
Strong take, doesn't get the finish, gets her own though. Sykes kicks it, Edwards has it blocked by Bonner as Mitchell controls.
Well, we go gadgety too, and that was a solid block by her on the other end.
Step back 3, Mitchell laces it.
And more often than not, and I'm telling you, once she gets in the flow, it's a dangerous thing for opponents.
Olsen, corner, got it.
Same thing for Lucy Olsen. It's dangerous when she starts seeing those buckets fall. 36% shooter from range last year at Iowa. She had a masterful game in Caitlin Clark's jersey retirement against Southern Cal. Iowa won that game with Caitlin Clark in the building.
Mystics came up with the steal, then Sykes dribbles it off of her foot and is called for the foul.
This is what practices. Take that shot. You know, there's just some freedom and coloring outside the lines, if you will, for this young Washington Mystics team, and it's been fueled by these vets.
Nasty turnaround jumper by Lexi Hall.
Yeah, not much you can do with that.
Sykes coming right back the other way, and we'll head to the free throw line. They call it on Aaliyah Boston. Her 3rd of the ball game.
Position to meet her there, to be disruptive in a legal manner. Only played in 18 games. She's met the moment this year for Washington. Said she's always wanted to lead a team, and she has been fantastic at that so far.
Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. 60-53 lead for Washington. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Dantes looking to Bonner. Goes to her in that mid-post. Bonner goes baseline. Too strong. Iriafen with the rebound.
Solid defense by Brittany Sykes, just walling up the tip enough.
Sykes.
A ghost action there by Angsler. Slipped out of that screen, and then Kiki Iriafen didn't break that seal to go get that one, but that was, they had a lot of heat on.
Has to pour the fire guy.
Okay, that's great.
16 seconds on the shot clock, about a 4.5-second difference between shot and game clock. 10 seconds now for Mitchell.
Horns action by Indiana, 2 screens.
4 seconds, 3 seconds, Mitchell. Angsler with the rebound, off the miss, 2 seconds. Up the floor, Iriafen running. Almost beats the buzzer, but it doesn't drop. A 60-50.
The dream, they've been most impressive. Carl Smesko in his first season there in Atlanta.
And an offensive foul is going to be called on Damaris Dantes, or have more on the Fever.
That's right. I was listening into that they are getting beat on transition defense, so they have to find their man early, talk early on in the defensive end, and on offense, they're going to have to get into their sets early, but also they want to see their offense breathe. Do not take a quick shot, no tough shots. It should be simple, guys.
Well, there's no more of a fierce competitor than Caitlin Clark when it comes to trying to win anything. You know, she battled with her brothers. She has 2 brothers and battled with them when she was young and beat them a lot of times. It's really great stories. She was also a great soccer player, which is why she has been able to find those angles as being one of the best assist makers this season in the WNBA with 9 assists per game. But look, it's in her eyes, man. It's killing her to be over there, Megan. Like, she wants to be on the floor so badly, which is why Ariana Braither just told us that. She was saying, you got to play harder. You know, it's all relative, and I've learned as a coach. Like, it's always relative to what that means. Like, coach, I am playing hard, but not as hard as I would be playing if I were playing. Like, there's always a different level.
With that one, it was interesting to see as Iriafen gets the first when they had that national team. So seeing her with her teammates at the same time, but being on the opposite side was such an interesting dynamic as Sophie Cunningham lost her shoe.
Is it back on now?
Not yet.
She's trying to. Well, those low tops, I guess they're good for something. Situations like that. Put it back on quickly.
Colson into the paint. Teardrop does not go. Bonner trying to fight for it. Colson comes up with it. Reset to 14. 12 now for Indiana.
Look at this defense by Washington. Jade Melvin. Oh, I thought she got pushed off.
They're going to count the bucket and the foul. Jade Melvin going to get whistled for it. It looked like the arms were clean, but was the open.
And it was a body foul.
Hull pays off the 3-point play.
And it's easier said than done. Your purpose as a defender is to beat spot.
Citron foul line jumper.
Yeah, that's just lethal. I mean, my goodness. For Notre Dame, with Olivia Miles and Hannah Hidalgo as her running mates last season for the Irish. I mean, she was the do-it-all player.
Bonner getting into the crisscross applesauce for the finish.
Well, you love to see in the season still having the explosiveness to finish plays like that.
.64-60 lead here for Washington, 7:36 to go. Loose ball picked up by Sutton. Mystics have a 1-player advantage. Melvin attacking, floater, too strong. Iriafen the putback.
Soft hands, quick feet, but phenomenal recognition. Offensive rebound, and Washington has feasted on the interior tonight.
Cunningham 3 off the mark. Iriafen the rebound.
40 paint points to only 26 for Indiana.
Been running the floor, gets the finish. She gets the rebound and the finish, and it's a Steph White timeout. 10 on the shot clock, Cunningham. Bonner, 6 seconds, 4 seconds. Bonner steps around Iriafen, puts it up, doesn't get the drop. Iriafen with the rebound.
Oh, what a fighter. Kiki Iriafen found. That's up for grabs. That's a 50-50 opportunity. Everyone's like 50-50 basketballs are on the ground. No, they're not. 50-50 opportunities are on the glass.
Sykes inside, couldn't get that to go. Colson pushing up the floor. Bonner gets it back from Boston. Works off of her. Hull. 9 on the shot clock. Colson.
A great read and a switch with Sykes and Citron.
Lob inside. Nice help there from Sutton.
Pass. And that's why Indiana has had difficulty scoring in the painted area. Just 26 paint points. And you look at the other side, Washington has 42 in the painted area.
Nice pass from Edwards. Iriafen waits and gets the finish.
44 paint points. The body balance, the awareness of where the defense is. The ability to make plays like that and execute.
Biggest lead in the ball game right now for Washington as they have a 10-point lead.
Here with a nice bounce pass dart right into the shot pocket for the easy deuce.
Boston gets the bounce on that one.
Finally got that one to go inside. They've been really disrupted by Washington's defense.
Sykes with the finish.
No, she didn't. Oh, no, she did not.
Did.
My goodness, what in the whirling dervish? She was all the way up there, right in front of the rim. I want to see it again. I want to frame that in the loop. An excellent finish with contact.
Colson gets by Sutton, lays it up and in.
Talk about deceleration. Sydney Colson.
Let's go, Red!
Two-time champ with the Las Vegas Aces. Decided to take her talents fever this season.
Sykes fading, doesn't go. Bonner the rebound. Bonner wanting the whistle called. Felt she was fouled. Point here. Colson from 3. Doesn't go. Sykes the rebound. Sykes pushing up the floor. Citron. Sutton orchestrating. 12 on the shot clock for Washington. Here's Austin. 8 seconds.
Somebody needs to relocate to give her some relief. She's being swarmed in there.
Sykes with 2 seconds. Puts it up. Doesn't go. And they're going to
game against second best in the WNBA, averaging 88 points per contest. And yes, I know that you don't have the services of Caitlin Clark, but they have other players on this floor that have veteran acumen and ability to be able to put the basketball in the basket. And I think they have disallowed the early actions in the quarter court that Indiana has shown. They're teaming to take that away regardless of personnel. They are playing basketball. And they are playing it very well on the defensive side.
Boston into the paint. A whistle and a foul. Dewana Bonner was at the free throw line. They called a defensive 3-second technical. And now, yes, they don't get the results in the win column that they want, but they're learning from these games. This is a Mystics team.
Games decided by single digits in the league right now. So, yes, they're learning on the fly, but yesterday at practice, they're working on situations for a long chunk of the practice towards the end. And right now, going back to my point about the defense being just on a string for the Mystics, they've turned Indiana over 14 times for 12 points. And on the other side for them, they have 15 turnovers, but Indiana has only scored 9 off of those. So that's something that they have protected as well. So not the same.
Huge block from
Let's go, Red!
Washington. Under 3 minutes to go here in the fourth. Sykes, little hesitation, gets right to the rim.
And that's what Brittany Sykes can do. I mean, she can stretch you out and make you pay.
Mitchell trying to make the Mystics play on defense there.
Well, look
Boston.
at Jade Melvin just staying connected to
4
Kelsey
seconds.
Mitchell.
Bonner attacking. Does not go. And Bonner, I think,
This very young Washington Mystics team playing situational basketball in a different environment, right? I mean, They're in the DMV, but they're not in the confines of Care First Arena. They're up 95, but it doesn't matter where you play, it matters how you play, and they have played exceptionally well in this one.
Citron attacking, doesn't get the roll, loose ball, back tap to Melvin, shovel pass to Citron, now to Sykes, 10 on the shot clock. Coming up on 2 minutes to go here in the fourth, 8 seconds. They lob it inside, area fan, and they're going to get a blocking foul called. Sykes working with a reset of the shot clock. 10 on it. Sykes going at Mitchell. And they're going to get a jump ball called. That's been a very...
See what they can get executed here in their early offense, trying to get Citron off that weak side pin down by Edwards.
And a blocking foul is going to be called on Hull.
I like the fluidity of Washington's offense, though.
To the line. Gets the first.
Her second career double-double was against Indiana. But she had a great offseason with the Unrivaled League and really showed a lot of different things in her bag.
And Boston is going to get called.
Challenged it, even if they had it on that one.
Erie Fenn, 10 on the shot clock. Deflected by Bonner, using the wingspan, and then Bonner steps out of bounds. Melvin trying to get it in, does.
They're trying to get clarity so that they can teach their players moving forward in the game.
Right. You got a player looking at you like, Coach, what did I do wrong?
Exactly.
And especially, too, if you have, not that we have today, because it's
been a party atmosphere here in Baltimore. I mean, the energy in this building has been palpable from jump ball to this. Continue to come out and watch the Mystics. And that's what she said pregame, and I love that.
And the ball deflect ball.
And not giving Indiana a chance to get free look.
As well to the possession, but a huge block by Sykes. Edwards controlling it. Be called. It'll be Mitchell and Edwards. What a defensive play from Sykes. Our players go up.
Oh, yeah.
Bonner 3, that's short. Under a minute to go here. 77-68 lead as Colson fouls Sykes.
Indiana in rotation, which is why they've been able to pierce the paint in an amazing way in this game. Second best in the league. The disruptive decision making on the defensive end, the execution of the scouting report.
If they're trying to make a playoff push down the stretch. Mitchell down the paint, gets that to go, lays it up and in.
They want that pressure, aggressiveness. That's what you heard Shakira Austin say. Stayed aggressive for the entire game. It wasn't just that first half, you know, and that's the mark of excellence when you can be consistent with.
Reset timeout here used by Indiana. Mitchell harassed by Sykes. Hull cut off by Melvin. Boston, now Bonner. Back cut from Mitchell. Steps around Citron, doesn't go. Citron the rebound.
Need from her. And it's everything. They need those boards. They need that to get deflections and
gets both free throws. Bonner.
Just hold it.
Now. Make that 11. To Care First Arena on Friday.
Yeah, #1 in the power polls this week. And you know, bringing that championship ring mentality to the court. Close this gap that has been all in favor of Washington, pretty much all in this one. They've done a fantastic job with that as well. Been a blueprint of what they need to carry forward in this season.
Let's go, Red!
Mystics get it over half. As Colson. As Melvin gets the first
of 4 seasons for Charlotte and this same Fever organization. She knows the ebbs and flows.
It still counts for DeWanna Bonner.
DB.
A historic night for her, albeit in a